Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Rob. You guys, it's already February. The time goes so fast. It's really amazing. I don't know about you guys, but my time goes so fast. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It never in my life have I experienced movement of time to be so fast the way it is now. But you know, it seems like a month is like a week for me these days. A day is like 2 hours. It just, you know, I get up, next thing I know, it's like already 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. I don't know why it's going so fast. I have a theory. I tend to believe that the reason why time is going so fast is because of the internet. It's so easy to get in touch with people, and it's so easy to be in touch, and it's always on the palm of my hands, and it's always there. And so maybe that's the reason why the time goes so fast, because it's almost like everything is happening live in front of me because of my phone. So I think that is why, you know. And I'm old enough to remember life without a cellular phone. My life wasn't going so fast back then, so I don't know, you guys, but it's going fast. And in this video, I want to show you my top decks for the month of February. So every month, I'm going to show you my top decks for that particular month. So sometimes I'll have 5, sometimes I'll have 6 or 7 or 8, you know, and they're not in any particular order. I'm just going to show you the decks that I'm going to be using the month of February. I like to really change my decks. A lot of the times I have so many decks that a lot of the times they just sit on the shelf and I don't use them. So my intention is really to use the decks as much as I can, and to diversify my tarot readings. So the first one that I'm going to try to really get into this month or use more is the Spirit Tarot. So you guys, this deck is a beautiful deck, and what's really beautiful about this is that it came in a hard box. This one is by US Game Systems, and of course it's by Paulina Fay. I love Paulina Fay, if you guys know or don't know, but Paulina Fay is one of my favorite tarot artists out there. So this is the box that it comes in with. It's really sweet. This is the inside of the box. It comes with a book that has that rose petal feeling on it, and it's a pretty straight book. It goes right into the major or minor arcana. It maybe gives you a little bit of some spreads. It just gives you the fire element, the air element, and that's pretty much it. And yes, here it gives you spreads on the back, and in the middle it's all about the minor and major arcana. So that's pretty much run of the mill. Once again, you guys, this deck is by US Game Systems, and this is what the cards look like. Now, if you're not familiar with Paulina Fay, she's an amazing artist, you guys. There's just nothing else to say about her. And this is what the back of the card looks like. They are reversible, and so as you can see, and this is what one of the cards looks like. This is the 8 of Acorns, energy and results. So she's named the suits something else. Acorns is coins. So now, you guys, a lot of the times people say, oh, you know, and I've heard this from the comments, you know, Rob, it is so hard or difficult to use her decks because it doesn't really say, or it doesn't relate to the RWS, so a lot of us can get confused by these decks. But you know, after using it for a while, you start to get into it. This is what shuffling this deck looks like. It shuffles really, really well, as you can see. Not a problem with that. In terms of size, this is a regular size, and this paper stock is not the best, but it's not the worst either. It is pretty good paper stock. It's not shiny, it's not matte, it's sort of in the middle, and it is just a really sweet deck. I love pulling this deck and reading with it, although it may seem a little bit hard at first. You know, at the end of the day, you know, when you really look at the pictures, when you really look at the drawings, then it starts to make a little bit more sense to you. This is the number 5, the Shaman, and this one is Divine Wisdom and Spiritual Power. If you want to do a spread with this deck, as you can see, it works just perfect, you guys. And so these are what some of the cards look like, the shadow. So if you're familiar with her decks, you will see that a lot of them look sort of the same. The drawings are very much in her style, and they are intricate, so it can be that it's a lot to look at. This one in particular is based on animals. So this is the Four of Shells, which is the Four of Cups, and as you can see, it is not RWS, so it can tend to be a little bit hard. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I don't use this deck that much, because it gets complicated, and then I do a reading and then I get sort of stuck a lot of the times. And it's not because I don't know what the cards mean, it's just that or it doesn't have anything to do with the meaning of the card. I look at I know what this meaning is, and then I look at the card and then I get stuck, and I'm like thinking, oh my God, what, I don't know what to say anymore, because I'm looking at the drawing and I'm thinking of what this card means, and nothing relates, and so I get stuck. So if any of you guys have any tips on how to handle this deck, if you have this deck, please let me know. It would really, really help me, as in this month I'm going to try to use this deck more than before. And this is the 10 of Shells, which is the 10 of Cups. So, and by the way, you guys, stick all the way to the end, because you might be surprised at what the last deck on this list is. So you guys, with that being said, that is the Spirit Song by Paulina Faye. I'm going to jump to the next deck, and so let's do it. The next deck on the list is the Red Seeds Tarot, you guys. And you might see this deck a lot on the list, because this is not a deck that I don't use on a regular basis. This is a deck that I do use on a regular basis. And since I am going to be using it this month, well, it also needs to be on the list. I love this deck. I love Linda Hill. Linda Hill is the artist of this deck, and these decks are just absolutely gorgeous. They're amazing. They're beautiful, and I love that they're deep. These decks are really, really deep. So I enjoy working with these decks so much. This is one of her decks, and she's got about 4 or 5 decks, and it comes in a hard box like this. This is the inside of the box. These are the cards. They are not reversible. If they are rather large, I mean, they're not super large, but they are rather large. This is what compared to a regular card, what they look like. So they are sort of on the larger side. The paper quality on this deck is really good. It's sort of like cardboard like, but nevertheless, it is a really good quality. I do enjoy this cardstock very, very much. And you guys, this deck comes with an amazing book. This is the book that it comes with. It is rather a large book, so it doesn't even fit here in the camera, but it is really nice. It's very well printed. It gives you a copy of the card on one side, and then it gives you the meaning of the card on the other side, and you can pause your device and take a read at that if you like, to see how that reads. It's sort of like a mythology sort of a deck, and I did a full review on this deck. If you're interested to get to know this deck in full length, you can go back to the channel and look for this particular review. It's in there. But you guys, this deck is amazing. I love the artwork. I love the paper stock. I love the meanings. If you do a spread with this deck, it works absolutely beautiful. And look at those drawings, all made by Linda Hill. Really, really gorgeous. This one is the Queen of Vessels, which is the Queen of Cups. This one is the Seven of Seeds. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, right? And I love to take this deck around with me. So a lot of the times I don't take it around with me when I travel, because it is sort of on the larger side. And so I do miss it when I don't have it around. So it's almost like I wish I could have a mini version of it or something, but it doesn't matter. It's gorgeous, and whenever I take this deck out, the Seeker loves it. I love working with it, and the meanings are just the way the book is written is beautiful, you guys. So it's just one of those gorgeous, absolutely stunning decks that I love working with, and totally artistic, by the way. This is the Queen of Torches, so with the Queen of Wands. So like I said, the suits have been renamed a bit here, and the Great Mother, this one is the Empress. This is the Three of Vessels, which is the Three of Cups. Beautiful. And this one is the Four of Seeds, which is just the Four of Coins, and so on and so forth, you guys. This is the Red Seeds Tarot by Linda Hill. Absolutely gorgeous. I think you're gonna love this deck. If you don't have it, you might want to consider getting this deck, because it is just one of my favorite decks. And so big thumbs up to Linda Hill. It is not a wonder that it's on this list. You may see it on other lists for the month, because it's a deck that I use often, and so one of those decks I just can't keep my hands off of. So you guys, let's go to the next deck. You guys, the next deck on the list is the Artist Decoded Tarot, and I got this deck not too long ago, so I haven't really had the time to work with it or to really get into it, and that's why I picked it to be in this month's list, because I want to start using this deck. I want to start getting to know this deck, and so it's a really beautiful deck. I've heard that it's AI. I'm not sure. I don't really get into the fact whether it's AI or not. I look at a deck, I want to know if I can connect with it. I want to know if the deck is going to speak to me, and this one has done that. So I sort of ordered it on Amazon, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to get, and when I got it, I was really pleasantly surprised. The box opens up like this. It has magnets here on the side, and this is the book that it comes with. It is really a beautiful book. This is just one of those beautiful decks, really. The book is really wonderfully done. This is how it reads. If you are interested in reading that, pause your device and take a look at that. I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased with this deck all around. So when we open the box, you will find another talk box, and inside of this talk box comes the cards. This is what the back of the box looks like, and you can pause there and take a read at that if you're interested. This talk box is okay. It's sort of like a warrior talk box. It's pretty sturdy. I must say it's not really on the flimsy side, so it's okay. I don't know how I feel about having a talk box inside of another box, but it's okay. I mean, I tend to leave my decks on the box that they come in, and this one is going to be no exception. I tend to keep those decks inside of here. So if you compare the card size to a regular, you will see that it's almost the same size. It's just a bit, well, it's a bit bigger when you really look. And this is what the back of the card looks like. They are reversible, as you can see. The paper stock is that rose petal feeling. It's really a nice touch to it. It's not so thick, it's not so thin. It's a very nice paper stock, and so they are sort of on the thicker side. So when I get to hold them like this, it is hard. So I do tend to have a little bit of a hard time shuffling this deck, just because it is on the thicker side. So if you have small fingers or short fingers, this might be a deck that can be a little bit hard to shuffle, but you can try it anyway and see how that works for you. If you want to do a spread, it spreads okay. It's not really the best, but you know, when you look inside at these cards, I find them to be absolutely gorgeous, you guys. This is Justice, and it's super artistic. This one is the 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. By the way, you guys, I found this deck on Amazon. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, and it wasn't really super expensive. It was not inexpensive, but it was, to me, affordable. So it's not one of those super expensive decks. This is the Nine of Pentacles. These are images that we can all relate to, by the way. These are RWS. And so if you're familiar with the RWS, then this might be a deck that you may want to consider. This is the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. And as you can see, it's in order, right? Because I haven't been able to use this deck. So that's why I'm taking it out right now, because I want to start using this deck. Look at this image, don't you? I love this. This is the star. I find this deck to be absolutely gorgeous. I'm so happy I got it. I'm really happy that this deck is in my collection, by the way. So this is the Sun card, and although I'm not really into babies and flowers and, you know, this one sort of works because it is on the artistic side. And so this is Judgment, also a nice card, and so on and so forth, you guys. The Artist Decoded Tarot. And with that being said, you guys, let me show you the next deck that we're going to be using in February. The next deck on the list is the Dream Dust Shamantic Tarot. And like the other deck, like the Artist Decoded Tarot that I just showed you, this is a deck that I'm also just got not too long ago. And so I haven't really had the time to work with it, but it is so beautiful. This deck is absolutely gorgeous. There's so many things that I like about this deck. Let me show you around. The box comes in a covered cloth box like this. It's in the color purple, as you can see. Letters are gold, absolutely gorgeous. The box opens up like this. It has the magnets on the side. This is the back of the box. There's really, if I have to name this deck something, or if I had to use a noun to describe this deck, I would say simplistic. This is one of the most simple decks I own, but absolutely gorgeous and elegant, you guys. This is the book that it comes with. It has that rose petal feeling, and as you can see, the letters sort of shine there. I think it's gorgeous, and the book is very well written. That's how it reads. If you're interested in reading that, pause your device and take a look at that. Very, very nice book. If you want to compare the size, they are much bigger than your regular size. So this is a larger card, which I really love. For those of you that know a little bit about me, you know that I do like larger cards, and this is no exception to that. I think that larger cards are really wonderful to work with. Look at this, is gilded. So beautiful gild there, absolutely stunning. And it is minimalistic paintings, you guys. It has nothing to do with the RWS. It has nothing to do with anything really other than artwork. So when you take a look at this deck, you really don't know what you're looking at. You really need to use your intuition. And of course, they have here the title of the card here on the top, and here on the bottom it has some keywords. So this one is illusion number 15, and this one says addictions, abuse, shamelessness, adding fuel to the fire, ruin caused by blind material pursuits, examining the value of life. And so this is very heavy, and this is what the back of the card looks like. You can try to do a reverse thing, and if you're not so familiar with this deck, I guess it would work. I mean, it would work for me if I tried to do a reverse, but you know, I'm not reading too much in reverse, so that's okay for me. This one is the Tower. As you can see, it's hard to tell that that's the Tower, right? By the way, this card stock is pretty good. It's sort of on the thinner side, and if you try to shuffle this deck, you're gonna have to do it from here, because it's really hard to do it any other way. So for me, the way I handle this deck is like that. So from the bottom to the top, because there is no other way for me to shuffle this deck. If you want to do a spread with this deck, it works beautiful, as you can see. And so this is one of the most artistic decks I have in my collection, by the way, you guys. This is 9 of Earth, which is 9 of coins. This is the 7 of Earth, 7 of coins, 5 of Earth, 6 of fire, 6 of wands, 3 of fire, 3 of wands, 4. And you see, they're just paintings. They're minimalistic paintings. Really gorgeous, really adding a spice to your reading, sort of confusing the seeker a bit, and challenging yourself at the same time is what I would say about this deck, because it's not easy to read with this deck. Thank God for the keywords, because if there were no keywords or if there was no writing on this deck, I think I would have a very, very hard time with it. But like I said, it has the name of the card here and it has keywords here on the bottom. So at the end of the day, you just got to use it. You got to get acquainted with it. And I think, at least for me, I just got to use it. I got to get acquainted with it. And I think everything else would just sort of fall into place as time passes. So you guys, that is the Dream Dust Shamantic Tarot, and I'm very happy that this deck is in my collection. Let's go to the next deck. You guys, the next deck on the list is the Sacred Legacy, and this is just one of those decks that just sits on my bookshelf, and for whatever reason I just don't really get into it. So I really did take it out this month strategically to be able to use it, because I just have not been using it the way it deserves to be used. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the drawings or what it is, but I have a feeling it's because of the paper stock that they used. But I'll show you around. This one is by Tarocco Studio. This was printed in 2021. The box opens up like this. This is the inside of the box. It comes with a very small booklet. When I say small, I really mean small. This book goes into the major or minor arcana, and that's really the end of that, you guys. So, and here are the cards. It's a nice card box, by the way. It's pretty sturdy. And these are the cards. The cards are gorgeous. I just think maybe it has something to do with the paperwork. When it comes to the size, they are larger than your usual deck. So there you can compare. They are that rose petal, you guys. So it feels lush on the fingers. Look at that back. I love the back. It is completely reversible, right? It reminds me of sort of the star, and it is like paintings. It's as if you were walking through a museum. It's what this deck looks like, and it's what this deck feels like. If you want to shuffle this deck, you're gonna have to get a bit creative, because it is on the thicker side. And so holding this deck can be a bit of a challenge, but nevertheless, when you want to do a spread, it spreads okay. And when it comes to these pictures and these images, this is the Hierophant. They're very classical, they're very traditional images. I think that this is a deck for everybody, whether you're seasoned, whether you're starting. This is the Seven of Cups. It might be a deck that you can get your fingers on and start working with. I don't know. There's just something about this deck that I don't use it so much. But am I happy that it's in my collection? Yes, I'm happy that it's in my collection. Do I want to use this deck more? Yes, I do. That's why it's on this list. That's why this month I want to use this deck a bit more. The pictures are beautiful. The printing is really good. And I'm just happy to be able to have the opportunity to work with it. This is the 10 of coins. And it is relatable to the RWS. So in that way, I don't think it's that big of a deal. This is the 5 of Wands, of course, fighting. This is the 9 of coins. This is the 8 of Swords, very 8 of Swords, as you can see. Beautiful images, very classic European sort of artwork there. From the golden ages, I would say. And so you guys, beautiful deck. I love this deck, and I'm so glad that this deck is in my collection, and I'm going to take it out right now in February. Also, it's cold outside, and I think that this is a very appropriate deck for this time of the year. So you guys, with that, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know you like the videos, and as I always say, you guys, thank you for watching, and until the next time.